Not what business are you in or really in or what business you need to be in. Not why you're in the business. Not what do you want from the business. But who are you in your core? And let me explain. All of us in this room have different gifts that we can give, regardless of our business. I have found there are what I would call 3 gifts of labor. And when I say labor, I believe other than my love and other than your love, the greatest gift we can give someone other than our love is our labor. And in my case, my labor is a source of love. I'm trying to love you into the place you get what you want, whether you know it or not. It might sound corny to you, but it's really what's true in my heart. And so it gives me great joy. But there are 3 gifts you can give through your labor. You can first give the gift of being a great artist or talent or a skilled producer. Now, if this is your primary gift, it means that what excites you is creating things. That's what artists do. When I say artist, I don't just mean like someone who paints. Your art might be negotiation. Your art might be writing software code than anybody else. Your art might be designing fashion than anybody else. These people live to produce some form of product or service or result, and they love to see its impact on people's lives. That is their primary drive and motivation. That's a reward for them. The artist wants to make money, we all do, but the artist will never sell out. They don't really want to sell the business. When I talk about selling a business, all the artists look at me with this confused look like, why would I do that? This is what I want to do the rest of my life. And there's nothing wrong with that, but that limits to what you're going to build in the business if that's the only filter you use. Now, the second gift that you could give someone is the gift of being a manager or leader. If you're a manager or leader, your labor, your skill, your ability is really to manage people and processes. And people that are manager leaders, they love to manage people. Artists usually get frustrated with too many people because they just want to create what they want. But a manager leader loves it. And they don't just love managing the people, they love managing the process, they want to make it better. They're about building a system, which, by the way, a business is a system for adding value. An organization is only a system, because if you leave and there's no system, there's no business. But if there's a system, it'll go on even when you're not there, whether it's McDonald's or GE. So you can replace the people and it still works. That's a system. Manager leaders are outstanding at that. The third person is what we call an entrepreneur, or a better term would be a massive risk taker. Because most of you in this room consider yourself to be an entrepreneur, but I would argue to you that maybe the language would be more accurate is you're entrepreneurial, meaning you enjoy creating things, including lots of different companies, but that's not an entrepreneur. What makes them an entrepreneur is they're in it for the economics, and they're in it for the juice of the ups and downs. They actually love taking risks. Ted Turner has been near bankruptcy 6 times. Once, he went bankrupt.
Can a man in your position lose all his money suddenly? Sure. Happens all the time.
But 5 other times is near it, and he just got up and did it again. He's juiced about it.
W-I-N.
That's a true entrepreneur, and they're, unlike the artist and the manager leader, they're happy to sell the business. You know, they'll sell the business and they'll just buy another one, or they'll start another one, and they might like the product, but the product can change. It's not about the product for the entrepreneur. It's about creating this business that they can make money out of and sell. So it's a different mindset. So I have a friend who said to me, well, I'm a medical doctor and I have 3 centers and I'm the best entrepreneur I know. And I looked at him and go, dude, let me help you. What if you had to choose between helping people in 3 locations versus selling the business and making a 10x profit? He goes, I'd never do that. It would be wrong for my patients. I want to be there for all of them. He's just an overproductive artist. And by the way, he makes money, but nowhere near as much as he could, because he's not looking to maximize it. He says he does, but it's not his nature. His nature is do more cool things for people, which he enjoys, and he's entrepreneurial. He's more entrepreneurial than the people he knows, but the people he knows are not true entrepreneurs. So here's the truth. If money wasn't a question, what would I do? Would I want to create things for people, see them light up? Would I want to run the organization, manage people and processes? Do I want to take the risk, be there, sell it, do something else again? What is your nature? Now, you might have all 3 skills, but they're not equal. We all have one that we're better at than the others. And the secret to fulfillment You can do all three of these, but if you're gonna be fulfilled, you gotta spend the majority of time in your nature. And by the way, under stress, you'll go back to your nature. The artist goes back to working on the products. The manager leader tries to change the organization. The entrepreneur wants to sell it and do something else. That's the nature of the person under stress. And under excitement, you tend to go back here. And most people have stress and excitement in their business. So the question becomes, not what do you want, but what's your nature so you're most fulfilled? See, many of you came here wanting to be an entrepreneur, and you might be better as a skilled artist without all the risks, and then taking your money and investing in entrepreneurs that are already the best in the world that you'll never be because it's not your nature, and make 10 times your money, 20 times your money, 30 times your money off someone else who takes all the risks, who stays up all night, who never breathes, who finds the way to do it while you party and do what you love. And many of you have not considered that. So the real question is, what's your nature? If you can align with your nature, you'll eliminate so much stress. If you align with your nature, you're gonna be 10 times more fulfilled. If you align with your nature, you're gonna be 10 times more effective. But most of us have got our egos involved because of conditioning of society, and we say, I wanna be that entrepreneur, I wanna be the guy that starts Google or Apple or whatever the case may be, and chances are that's not what you're gonna do. You can still build a great business. But those things are usually not what most people experience. So which of these is you at your core? Because the question we're gonna answer is this. Who are you in your true nature? Now, I have all three of these skills, but they're not equal. And I'm not fulfilled equally by all three of them. But here's what I've done. I've surrounded myself with people that have the other skills, and I've gotten really good at being an entrepreneur. But guess what I still love most? This. So what do? I've developed that skill. I know how to do it. And in those other businesses, I've surrounded myself with great manager leaders and great entrepreneurs. And I'm a great entrepreneur, but I'm not as great as them because I'll never maximize the profit at the highest level because I want to do more for the customer. It's my nature. So I divorced myself from some of those businesses in that area. I'm a strategist. I bring the value there, but I don't get in the way of decisions. Like, bottom line is, I have different people as partners. I play a different role in those places based on the goals of what I want to accomplish in those areas. I'm the last person that would limit you. And so you can only be this. I hope you know that about me. But I also want you to be fulfilled. Because in the end, the money's not going to do it. The situation's not going to do it. It's aligning with what fulfills you that'll make you fully alive. And if you do that really well, you can also make more money than you can imagine. But you got to know your true nature and you got to align with it. So the question we're going to answer is this. Who are you at your core? What fulfills you most? And who do you need?